Hello there everybody, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to be using the game Kodu, or Kodu Game Lab. And today I'm going to start off with land terrain editing. And for any other computer you can use your mouse, and if you have a touchscreen computer you can always use your touchscreen as I am now. And so you could say, if you want to create a world with, say, different blocks, you could always just click on the block item. And it's pretty simple, really, to apply everything. All you need to do with your mouse is you can zoom in or zoom out like that. But all you have to do is use your arrow keys, left or right, to change the side, or the size. And so I could say left click and make more land. But say I didn't like the block for it, I can change the block by going through the menu and scrolling with the arrow keys. Or I could just scroll like this with my mouse. And so by doing this, say I choose just any random block, I can now place that block down, which is different from the previous block. You can also change shape of what you're editing, and the magic tool brush selects all of the same block in the same that are connected, really, I should say. And so by doing this you can edit things faster and such, but you can basically, let me show you. So say I created a world where I had separate land types, like let's go and use the grass, and say I wrap this right here and that right there, and yeah, that should work with the brush. So say I got land brush out for, with the magic tool brush, I should say. I need to stop saying that too. But say I did that and I wanted to do, say, this grass here, I just left click on that grass and it'll change that block. And it'll only change what's connected to it. So now I can click on this grass block, but it won't get this little centerpiece here. And so after that, after creating your world and, say, creating a little basic, you can add mountains by using the mountain tool, like so. And you can basically hit the space bar and then right click and move your mouse to actually move your camera around, which seems to be glitching out for me. Give me 1 second. There we go. And so, see how I've created hills now? But the hills in the game are typically not very, smooth. So, I can use a smoother tool, which looks like a plateau forming. And so, now, if I look at it with my camera, it's much smoother. And I can change dimensions and stuff and how it looks. And one tool that's really cool to use is the spike tool, which it's basically self-explanatory. It makes tons of spikes, which tend to look awesome on like games with like shooting games and stuff like that for this, but there aren't typically that many shooting games in Kodu Game Lab. So that tool also would look good for, say, a horror background. And just minimize this back down to its original size. Another tool that I use a lot, but I think they need a fix in Kodu, is the water tool, the add water tool. And so what this does is, say I want to add like a pond. Let's do this real quick. Build a little area around it. And say I wanted to build a pond. All I do is select the water type by scrolling with my arrow keys. Now let's use just plain water, and then left click where you want it, and it basically fills it as you hold down left click. The only bad thing about it is if you overfill it like so, it fills your world, but that can come in handy for oceans and such. And it's individual. So say filling this is separate from filling this. And to get rid of it all, just right click. Also, you could use the delete tool, but it kind of deletes everything in the air. Nope, sorry there. My mic was glitching out. But now let's get into some other things you could do. You could say, go under your world settings and turn on or off glass walls. Glass walls are basically invisible walls that form around your world. That way players can't escape. I tend to turn this off depending on the world. Say I wanted a free-flying world, I would turn off glass walls just to increase the amount of range the game can have without increasing the lag. And so, say I wanted to make a game with, say, like flying planes, I would turn off the glass walls. And now let's just get into some basic little stuff right here. Okay, let's make this all the same block. Now let's get into Kodu, the actual characters you can create. So when you want to create a Kodu, you just click on the object tool right here. It looks like the Kodu character. And all you're going to do is left click where you want to place them. And it gives you a GUI where it's going to show, or ask you really, what you want. So say I want a plain Kodu. I'd click here, or a rover, or an apple, which is an object they can eat in the game. And everything has its own little specific set of coding to it that you can add in. So some things have a special coding. So let's just add in a plain Kodu for now. To really customize these items, you can hover over them with your mouse and use the arrow keys to choose the colors that are shown above. So let's make them purple. And the program, just right click them and then go to program, left click program and go to when. And under when it'll give you another menu where it'll say when and then it'll say bump here. There's a lot of things you could do, but for now let's say just to move the Kodu we could do keyboard, like keyboard, arrows, then it's going to move. Now let's hit escape to start playing the game. And as you can see, he's moving now. My game seems to have glitched out. Let's try to fix this. There we go. And we can just zoom in with the camera. And now we can use the arrow keys to move. Sadly, Kodu is very, very slow. And so, say I wanted to add a path that was a bit faster under move. If I just click on the plus sign, I can choose wander on path, which I'll get into next time, or in a direction, a limit, but for now I want it to go faster, so I'm going to click quickly. And the thing is it's not going to go much faster when I just do it once. So let's just keep applying it until it stops. And then hit escape to go back, escape again to start the game. Now let's just move our camera a bit around, get a better view on the Kodu. It's going to go a bit faster. And the acceleration rate is also going to be a bit different. As you see here, we just hit a glass wall too, or it won't let us farther out. But for open worlds, you could just turn it off. And so that's it for today, and I will see you guys next time. For any other recommendation for videos, just put that in the comments below. And for any other recommendations recommending series and channel updates on what I should do for future reference, just put that in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.